I'm Patti Bruyns, and I've been part of the Go4Gold program since its inception. Now, you know, we are all here in part to gain some knowledge of various initiatives, various interventions that assist with education. And most of these focus on a particular aspect of a young person's life. It would be tutoring, perhaps helping, assisting with the school life, but then what then? Or supplying bursaries and assisting at the tertiary level, but once the qualification has been gained, what then? But we have a package that spans quite a wide range of that young person's life. And it is this package that I want to share with you today. Okay, so I'd like to explain to you the Go4Gold model. And it is a 4-phase model with each phase leading into the next. And I'd like to briefly explain that to you so that whatever I say after that is in context. Now, the purpose of Go4Gold, broadly speaking, is to recruit and prepare young people, particularly for the construction sector. But it is a model that can be replicated in any sector. So I'd just like to outline the model. We recruit young people in grade 10, and our program kicks off in grade 11, and that's our first phase. So in grade 11, we tutor young people after school in science, maths, computer skills, and what for us is very vital, life skills. And towards the end of grade 12, we have a large contingent of companies within the construction sector. They come along, interview our students with a view to placing them in an internship year, a post-matric internship year. And that is our phase 2. And this is a very vital part of what we do. This young person, it doesn't matter what their matric results were, they do not go straight to a tertiary institution. But they first spend a year working within the industry. And this has a very important purpose. This is their year to confirm if what they have considered doing up to now is in fact where they'd like to spend the rest of their lives. And they have the opportunity to try this out in the raw for an entire year. They are paid a salary, they work within the industry, and they are experiencing all kinds of aspects of it. It's like a year-long job shadow. And during that time, they are moved around. So at a certain stage, usually they find something that attracts them more than something else, and they spend time exploring that. So they're making decisions if this is where they'd like to be. For the company, there's also a bonus, because the company has an opportunity to see this young person in action and to make an informed choice as to how much they're going to invest in the young person's future. And from our side, we have bridging programs, which we've especially structured, and we continue our life skills module. And once decisions have been made towards the second half of the year, we assist with applications for tertiary institutions or learnerships, and also for bursaries. Most of the time our companies issue bursaries, but we don't depend on that. We have other partnerships as well. So that is then phase 2. Then phase 3 is the tertiary phase. Now this young person is in a tertiary institution or doing a learnership or in-service training, but we continue our mentoring and monitoring of the whole situation and this young person. Where tutoring is needed, we furnish that as well. Then the young person continues until they are qualified, and then there is our employment phase, where our companies come on board and employ this young person. That's also not an exit phase, as you will see later. Now, this model has gained quite a lot of attention, and we were quite overwhelmed by all this. And we would like to claim success for the fact that our model has got so much attention all over. But the success of Go4Gold can only really be attributed to the young people who are our participants. Everything we do would just fall flat if they didn't come in with resilience and commitment and determination to succeed. And in fact, just to give you a bit of a glimpse into how this is seen by those who look at our program intensely, somebody who was a funder, represented a funder, spoke to me after one of our award ceremonies and said to me, now I know why your program is so successful. I know what is different in a Go4Gold participant and others. You are cultivating leaders, leaders who inspire. Many other interventions are cultivating achievers, but to Go4Gold, the real key is to cultivate leaders, leaders who inspire. Now, there are many such leaders, but I want to introduce you to one in particular who epitomizes what Go4Gold stands for. Meet Michelle. Michelle is a very special young lady. When she was born, or at birth I should say, her legs were deformed. And when she was 1 year old, her legs were amputated just below the knee. And she's had prosthesis ever since. Today, Michelle is a civil engineer who works on site to a large extent with one of the large construction companies in South Africa. Her journey up to that point has been filled with commitment, obstacles, resilience, and inspiration. Michelle has inspired all whom she encounters. And this photograph is taken at an occasion where she was addressing about 200 captains of industry. And in that audience was our Western Cape Premier, Helen Ziller, as well. And when she was finished speaking, she was just telling her story. When she was finished speaking, she got a standing ovation. So this unobtrusive leader in Go4Gold inspired that auspicious gathering of leaders. Now, Michelle's obstacles, her achievements are obvious to all who meet her, but there are many such unobtrusive, quiet leaders amongst Go4Gold. And just by point of inspiration, Mandlakazi, when she was in grade 12, we were busy with a most significant change evaluation exercise, and this is what she wrote. I am part of this revolution to greatness, and I'm challenged to push my limits further and further. And this, in fact, is what we try to do in Go4Gold. But I can spend hours regaling you with stories of our participants, but our brief here at this conference is to share our learnings with you. So let me get on with that brief. Now, I'm going to just give you what we consider to be some of the key factors behind our success. We've had many learnings. Go4Gold started in 1999, but was a pilot program until about 2005, when we felt we had tweaked the model. So there's lots and lots that we've learned the hard way, but I've isolated a few. Now, from what I've shared with you about our participants, I think you can gather that for us, whole person development, holistic development is vital. Our life skills module, our ethos is to instill a sense of self-worth and the belief that they can achieve anything they set their minds to. And we do this initially by creating for them in our phase 1 an environment, a safe environment in which they can share, an environment in which there's trust, where they are nurtured, but above all where they are valued. And these young people, very quickly you see their self-confidence developing, and as their confidence develops, their comfort zones widen, and they walk tall. And it is a privilege to be part of that process. And all kinds of little miracles happen as they discover how valuable they are, their own self-worth. Then I was very interested in the presentation earlier by Gold Peer that focuses on peer support, because for us this is a very important aspect as well. Don't ever underestimate the value of peer support. In Go4Gold, we value relationships, and when young people start with Go4Gold, they know that they have become part of a very special family. A family who looks out for each other, a family who cares about what goes on in the lives of fellow participants. And very quickly, mentorship and peer support relationships develop. Some of the mentorship we engineer, others just happen spontaneously. And the mentor benefits as much, but sometimes more than the mentee. That amazing feeling if you realize that you have contributed to the growth of a peer just by being yourself and sharing a part of your life is amazingly empowering. So for us, that is an important element of what we do. Then also, a strength of Go4Gold is that it's integrated, different phases of this young person's life, and it's long term. Now the integration, we have, as you saw before, phases 1 to 4, and each phase addresses what is needed in the phase to follow. But through our evaluation and mentoring and looking at our model, we were able to look at problems experienced in one phase and address those in the previous phase in a preventative measure. For example, our bridging programs that we have in our phase 2, they've been structured specifically to address problems we discovered at tertiary level in phase 3 and so on. So that's for us a big strength, the fact that it's all integrated. It's a long-term approach. The young person enters in grade 11 and knows my life is secure. Somebody is supporting me through the different steps that lie ahead, right until I am employed. And that gives that young person, coming from the disadvantaged areas from which they come, it gives them secure hope for the future, a knowledge that I am going to make a life for myself. Many of them talk of what they're going to do for their families. So it's a long term. Phase 4, when you are employed, is not an exit point. As long as you remain within the construction industry, you remain part of Go4Gold. And the older participants are the mentors, the role models, the camp leaders, and so on. But they also have trauma, they also have needs. If they are retrenched, etc., we're still there to support them. So the long-term integrated approach has lots of advantages. And then lastly, partnerships. For us, partnerships are vital. They are our life's blood. Our most important partnerships are with the construction sector and companies within the sector. But it is a mutually beneficial partnership. It's not us going to these companies with our hands out for CSI contributions. We provide for these companies a tailor-made path. For them, it is a way to employment equity, meeting their scorecard commitments, and just low-risk recruitment. So it's a win-win relationship. It's not us begging. And we have the same kind of relationship with our tertiary institutions, for example. We flag our applications and they give our students first preference. They know this young person comes in with a year of work experience. This young person has made up their minds from an informed position. They're more motivated, they're more matured, they have support. And at the moment, we are looking at revamping our phase 1, and there are a number of organizations that we're going to work with eventually, NGOs and other entities in a partnership, with each entity fulfilling their vision, but having the outcome enriched because of the partnership. And I want to just end with saying that, I think that if with this conference and what's to follow, we can forge some partnerships, NGOs, government, education, and we can stand together and become part of that revolution to greatness that Mandlakazi is talking about. Our education system and what happens with our youth. I also want to quote one of the speakers, we're in a quagmire. And if we stand together and we look at the strengths of each partner and we forge together, we can create a revolution to greatness for all our young people. Thank you.